What is up, my dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to the Cadenator channel. I am the Cadenator, if you did not know. Now, it's been a minute. We had some technical difficulties, but we're back. Things didn't go swell with the videos. With the actual reactions, like the recordings. I couldn't exactly upload them. But everything's fixed now. Everything is working currently. So, we're back with Hunter Hunter. Reaction, thoughts, discussion, review. Whatever you want to call it. So. I'm just like I've been like thinking about this, like the batch of episodes 4 and 5, which we will be discussing today. I've been thinking about them. Oh, coronavirus. I'm a dork. Either way, I legit have been thinking about this batch of episodes since I watched them. Like they've just been on my mind. There's a lot that I want to talk about here. So, just quick recap, and I'm not going to be doing it like I did the last couple, which is just me talking about what happened in the episode. This one actually gives a lot more meat and potatoes of stuff that happens during the episodes. So yeah, episode 4, we get they're running and they're doing the phase 1 thing, and they're, running through the big, massive place, and they end up they ended up going through the tunnel and coming out on the other side to the Numeri wetlands, or also known as the Swindler's Swamp, full of monsters, different beasts that can take on the appearance and voice of, other people, or can even just simply, there's just some dangerous stuff in there. And then, of course, episode 5, they go through it. Just a basic all-around thing, because there are a few things I wanted to talk about, starting with episode 4, where we actually find out some stuff about 2 characters. Those being Kurapika and Leorio. We also find out a little bit about Killua, but it's not like I don't know if I'd say it's major stuff. I mean, we ended up finding out why Killua wants to be a hunter. He joined the hunter exam because he heard like the strongest people were supposed to be here. So basically, he's just kind of going for a test of strength, which makes me go, "Oh, he's gonna be strong, isn't he?" Oh, he's strong, isn't he? So that should be exciting to, I guess, see how strong Killua is when the time comes to show his power. Because he said he was disappointed in what he saw. For everyone, only the strongest and most capable people can make it through the hunter exams. And he's like, I'm disappointed so far. So, we'll see. But the real ones I want to talk about here are Kurapika and Leorio. Because Kurapika explains why the Kurta clan was targeted. Of course, the Kurta clan being wiped out by the Phantom Troop, all because of their eyes. Because, as Kurapika explains, the Kurta clan has a special thing where their eyes, when people of the clan are overcome with emotion, they turn a scarlet color. And as he says, it is said to be one of the 7 most beautiful colors in the world. So people kind of want their eyes, and that's why the Phantom Troop targeted them and ended up, and as he said, plucking out the eyes of all his brethren, which is messed up. And he wants to get their eyes back, to which I respond, what are you going to do with them? Put them back? I don't think that's going to change much. Just saying. Maybe I'm a little bit of a... Maybe that's being mean, but still. he divulges this information, and he's like, well, why there has to be more to you. You're not that shallow, Leorio, to where you just want money. To which Leorio says, nah, fam, I want money because money can buy you everything. And if he had money, he'd be able to save his friend's life. To which we get a bit of backstory for Leorio. The fact that when he was young, he had a really good friend. And you can actually see in the background, the town they're in looks pretty run down. It does not look all that, it doesn't look at all to the level of any other town we've seen. It looks like a ghost town almost. It almost looks like the little town that the old lady was in. Like, it just looks run down. So it really obviously shows that they grew up in a poor living situation, and he says they didn't have money, so even though it was a curable disease, they couldn't pay for it, and his friend died. And he wanted to be a doctor, but that cost even more money, and he just couldn't get that money. So yes, money buys everything. I genuinely love that. Like, I admittedly, out of those three, Gon is cool. Kurapika, I actually think Kurapika might be my favorite character so far. Leorio, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I'm like, he can be a good comedy relief character, especially when, he's running and his grunts sound like the his grunts sound like when, like in Minecraft, when you hit the villagers. Oh my. Okay. But giving him this extra depth and development, I think, was necessary, both necessary and it really touches the soul, on a deeper level, genuinely. Because something quite simple in the grand scheme of things, but it's just a major overarching thing, such as life. Something that is so important to, like, living or health. If you don't have money, you don't have it. If you have a serious condition, even, and this isn't just for this, this anime world that we find ourselves in Hunter x Hunter. This is the real world. This is what is a current thing. If you have a problem, but you can't pay to get rid of it, sorry, you just gotta die. And it's a sad situation all around because people genuinely need these things. If you can't pay to cure yourself, then you're not going to be cured. And even if you want to cure other people, you have to spend so much to be certified to do that. And that's why Leorio, and you can tell that's why Leorio says anything can be bought by money, even something like just simply life, human lives. And I think he actually mentions that, where he says you can buy human lives with it. And yeah, not just in terms of like buying people, like I don't know if they have slavery in this world, but possible that they do, but not just that if they do, but also just simply the fact of someone's living or dying can be determined by their financial situation. So again, I just think that gives a good amount of depth and genuinely understandable reason to Leorio's situation. So, and even though it would have been understandable why, oh yeah, okay, makes sense, he just wants money, the fact that there is that deeper level, and it's not just one of like, my entire family was killed, it's one of something that we, as the viewer, can understand and can see. So, I just think that gives it a lot. Gives a lot more to him, and gives a lot more to his character, and I feel like makes his backstory and his motivations much more clear to us, the viewer. And then we get to the other thing. Look. Okay, so for the last couple review thoughts discussion videos, admit I'm not going to take them down or redo them, but because genuinely there's not a lot to talk about in those episodes. I think they do a good job for what they are, but they don't really bring up a lot of good topics of discussion and conversation. So trying to force that out, I ended up making very long videos of just recapping what happened in those episodes. But this one, I guess not really one scene technically, but one half of an episode. The latter half of episode 5, there is so much to discuss here. Whoa boy. Okay, so that Hisoka scene. Okay, so basically Hisoka gets cornered by a bunch of people, and he says, "Oh, we want to play judge now because they want to kill him," and he kills all of them easily. And then he beats the crap out of Leorio when Leorio and Kurapika are like, "Okay, let's book it," and Leorio comes back and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna fight." And then Gon comes to his rescue because Leorio is obviously outmatched by this dude, and Gon's also outmatched by this dude. So, not a good situation overall for our heroes, but for a guy who just completely murdered a big group of people, Hisoka ends up letting them go, and ends up actually carrying Leorio off to the site of Phase 2 after getting a walkie-talkie, thing, so someone contacts him saying, "We're at Phase 2, where are you? Get over here now. It's about to go down. Phase 2 is about to commence. Phase 2 of the 100 exams is about to commence." Okay. So, 3 major things to discuss here. Okay, 3 major things to discuss and theorize about a little bit. First of all is the obvious. Who was on the other side of the... It was the one dude. I don't know if... Did they give him a name? Did they give him a name already? I can't remember. Genuinely. I might need to go back and watch episode 3 to see if they gave this dude a name. But it's the dude who has all the pins in his head. He looks like Pinhead. That dude. Again, same clothes. He has the same pins in his clothes. You can actually see a few scenes where they're running that he's actually by Hisoka's side. So it's obvious who that is. Okay. And I think his number was 301. But you can't really see his number in any of the running scenes. But I'm sure if you freeze framed before and they had his number, you'd be able to, okay. So it's obvious who's on the other side of that line. But what is going on? Okay, so in my thinking and in my theorizing, I came up with 4 possible answers to Hisoka's entire predicament here, right? 4 possible reasons to what his whole judgment thing was, or what his ploy is, not just in this scene but overarching in the 100 exams here. First, he's just a wild card. He's doing what Hisoka does because Hisoka wants to do what Hisoka does. Simple as that. 2, I mentioned this in reaction, he's an official examiner for during the, not just before, but during the exams. C, he and the Pinhead dude are part of some sort of underground organization trying to do something to or during the 100 exam. And then D, branching off of C, the crackpot. Phantom Troop. Okay, so let's break these down. I think we should probably go backwards because I think a lot of people are going to be like, the Phantom Troop? What? Okay, listen, hear me out. As I was thinking this up, obviously my first thing my mind goes to is, okay, Hisoka's kind of a bit of a psycho, so maybe, but also it could be the Examiner. And then my brain went, okay, maybe because they're working together, so maybe he's not a complete wild card, but I don't know if he might be just working by himself. Well, not by himself, but with the other guy, with, Pinhead. Maybe there's some part of some sort of secret underground organization. And then I kind of came up with this off of that, thinking, okay, this is a bit of throwing things together, but Hisoka's really strong. Hisoka has been, he's completely outclassed Leorio. He completely outclassed Gon. They could not match him. The Phantom Troop have been mentioned to be Class A bounties. You will die if you try to take their heads. They'll take yours. At least that's what the captain says to Kurapika in the first episode. You'll be sending yourself to your death. So, again, the reason why I don't think this, truly, is more because of the fact that, it would make sense for the whole underground organization thing. For it to be the Phantom Troop. The only reason why I'm thinking that is, of course, the strength, Class A bounty, Hisoka could fit right into that. But also, it just comes down to the fact of, okay, they've thrown out the name of the Phantom Troop multiple times. So, because they've mentioned it so much, it makes you think, okay, really strong dude who could be working for some sort of group of people, underground organization type thing, maybe trying to cause a scene or trying to cause some chaos in the hunter exam and create only the best hunters. Could be the Phantom Troop. Is it likely? No. Why? Because, again, the big thing I want to point out here, with that kind of crackpot theory of Hisoka being a member of the Phantom Troop, or maybe even trying to maybe try out to become a member through this hunter exam, is he's face to face with Kurapika, and I don't think at any time while they're on screen together or while Kurapika takes notice of Hisoka do we see the Scarlet Eye, nor do we see any visible, or vocal reaction from Kurapika. You'd think that he would have had some sort of reaction because, it's like, oh, you killed my family, I'ma kill you. Or Hisoka being like, oh, you're the last remaining Kurta clan, give me your eyes. I don't think that, again, they didn't show any sort of history. So it kind of makes me think that if there is that underground organization, even though the Phantom Troop has been named multiple times and might actually completely fit Hisoka here, in terms of just big shot, scary, strong guys who, again, are part of some sort of unknown, well, not unknown, but named group of people who most likely no one really knows where they are, or at least that's how they kind of portray it. Maybe. But again, it could totally be the other one of, it's just it's a one that's going to be named. It's one that's like, they reveal themselves, we are the boob. We are this group of people, and so it could totally be that. But the one that I am actually leaning toward the most, almost, and this was one of those ones where it was the immediate reaction, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to me. I think it's a possibility that Hisoka and Pinhead, I'm just going to call him Pinhead, are actual examiners, like similar to the captain, similar to the old lady in the ghost town, similar to the mythical beasts. Sorry, I can't remember their names. I think it started with an H. Who are the guides in the forest, in the the cabin in the forest. The ones that brought them there. I think that it might be a just weed out the weak from the strong type during the exam that is more professional and actually, than someone like Tompa. I think was his name Tompa? The rookie killer. More so than him. So I think that could be the case because again, obviously it's like, well, let's play examiner here. And he ends up killing all of them. But he sees something in Leorio and Gon, so he lets them live. So it's almost like that professional, like he's actually an examiner thing, similar to how the other ones were impressed by their cunning and their smarts and their strength and their speed. So they let them through to go to the hunter exams. So maybe it was the same thing with Hisoka. And then my brain went, oh, that couldn't be the case because he was threatened by Satots when he threw the cards at him to check to see if he was actually the real the real person who was supposed to be leading him. But then I thought about it again. Well, that could have also accomplished two things, because he not only showed how to for everyone else that, oh yeah, that's a thing. They will try to trick you in this swindler swamp, but also mentioning how they are legit hunters who just go on pay, who take no pay to do the hunter exams. So they're legit strong hunters here. They are no joke. So maybe it's almost like a warning to the rest of them, as well as when Satot says, if you do something like that again, I will report you and you will be disqualified. So it's one of those things that may end up being like a thing of they were trying to just warn people that Satot is strong, so don't try him. But also, if you do, you're going to end up being disqualified. And then, even further enforced, when Satot is looking out and just sort of looking at his watch, almost like he's waiting for Hisoka to get there. Or waiting for someone to get there, and Hisoka hadn't showed up yet. So it's almost like he's like, okay, well, we gotta wait for Hisoka to get here. He sure is taking a long time. I hope he's not, being too mean to the people who are here, who are taking the exam. It's just, again, that's sort of my thought. So, again, he was just doing Hisoka things because Hisoka's Hisoka, and he just kind of went off the rails and started killing people. That wouldn't surprise me at all. He could totally be an actual official examiner during the exam. He could be part of some unnamed underground crew, or least likely, really, maybe he's a member of the Phantom Troop. Again, that one's... The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, no. But then, I mean, what if it was like a Tanjiro, like Demon Slayer thing where, Kurapika was out of town, and when he came back, everyone was dead. Like, it could totally be like a thing like that. Of where he didn't know, or maybe Hisoka is a recent joined member. But I just feel like, would it be too early to introduce a Phantom Troop member? Especially when we got this going on at this point in time, would it be too early? I mean, and would no one else recognize him? Again, there's just too many ins and outs for that one to be true, but again, it's one I'm throwing out here of, it's the only real named mystery organization group of people that could be, but it could totally just be an unnamed one at the moment, and that they will reveal, oh, we're this group of people. Have you heard of us? No. I swear we're big shots. Well, obviously we don't know your name, so you know you're not, but again, that's just a thought. And then also, why did he let Gon and Leorio, again, he cut out because like, oh, it's a kindred spirits, he recognized them, but like, again, there's just like so many thoughts to it. And again, I really have no idea because I've been just racking my brain on what is Hisoka's allegiance here. But is it possible that this, maybe it is an underground organization, or it could just be the hunters themselves who see something in them, and they kind of want Gon, they have a purpose for Gon or in Leorio, and they want them to be hunters? Or that, you know, they want to have some sort of they want them to be some way involved, or maybe again underground organization, maybe Phantom Troop want to recruit them because they see that they're strong. But that wouldn't make sense for Leorio because Leorio got clapped up real quick. At least Gon got a sneak attack, but wasn't able to do much after that. I mean, he did like throw the dirt in his face and try to sneak him there, but did not work at all. Again, there's just so much to it, and I'm really happy that we got a lot more to think about this episode, a lot more that immediately afterward I'm like, what in the world is, why? What is the case here? So, again, it's nice to have that for, I feel like the first time in the series. I really hope that everything I've heard about the series, about it being amazing and one of the best series of all time, I hope it rings true. And I also hope that we get more like this, where it's just, I want to know more. So, that'll be that. But be prepared. The next one, I'm upping the ante here. 6, 7, and 8. Episode 6, 7, and 8. 6 through 8 are going to be the next batch that I'm going to be reacting to. You can find them on a Google Drive. Link in the description of this video and in the description of all the other videos. And of course, afterward, you'll be getting the review, thoughts, review discussion on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're around for that. And hopefully we have a lot more to talk about over 6, 7, and 8. Maybe we get the answers to some of these questions of, why did Hisoka let them live? Who was Hisoka? We know who Hisoka's talking to. But why was he talking to him? What is Hisoka's allegiance? So many questions about Hisoka right now. But with that, make sure you click the big red subscribe button below. I messed up my whole outro. I had the perfect, inhale, and I'm sad now, man. I'm sad. Make sure you hit the big red subscribe button below and hit... It happened again! It happened again. Make sure you hit the big red subscribe button below and hit the ringy-dingy bell next to it to get notified on all my future uploads. Click the like button until it turns blue. It's really, really pretty. Give me thumbs. Share this video. Share it with your friend. Your best friend. Your not-so-best friend. Your theorist. The theorist friend in your group. The one who likes to come up with theories about all of his favorite shows, movies, games, and even real life. And with that, I bid you all farewell. Adieu. I hope you have a wonderful day, you beautiful, beautiful people. Bye!